Hi, it's B and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to make stuffed meatballs. So I'm going to stuff my meatballs with veggies and seasonings and herbs. So I'm using this Nature's Ranch. Does it say Rancher? It does. Rancher's 100% grass-fed organic ground beef. I prefer bison, but this is what I'm using today. There's my garlic already peeled. This is the organic garlic I get. I got all this stuff at Whole Foods. I'm going to use some organic portobello mushrooms, some organic baby spinach, some organic cauliflower, and some organic green beans. I'm also going to add some sea salt. This is ancient fine sea salt, like the best. And I'm going to add organic dillweed, some organic cilantro, some organic turmeric, some organic ground black pepper, and some organic rosemary. And this is what I have the salt in because it's way too big to be trying to pour out. And organic cumin, which I don't have out. And I'm going to be frying them on medium in cold pressed 100% pure avocado oil, non-GMO. So I'm making these meatballs because, for one, they're going to be delicious. But two, my little cousin who's 5, little TMI, has a little overgrowth of yeast in his gut, and I want him to eat more vegetables. So, and he likes meatballs. So this is my attempt of getting him to eat vegetables. I'm going to make meatballs stuffed with veggies and garlic to help heal the yeast overgrowth in his gut. Again, he is 5, so, you got to make it work. You got to figure it out. All right. So I rinsed all my veggies, and I started cutting up the cauliflower. And this is the stem of the cauliflower, and these are the leaves that were on the cauliflower. Waste nothing, you guys. It's all edible. And I started cutting up my mushrooms. I'm going to cut my green beans in probably 3 times. And I'm going to cut my spinach. So I'm not going to continue cutting them any smaller because I am going to put it all in this food processor. So that way I don't have to sit here and cut all day. I am going to cut up my garlic and get that going. I have my meat out and ready for me to add everything. So I'm going to saute all this on medium before I add it to the meat, just to make sure that it's cooked enough, because cauliflower and the stems take a while, and the green beans. So I'm just going to saute them for a little bit. And take your meat out of the fridge, a little while before you cook, so it gets room temperature. That's what I was taught, so that's what I do. So I have my cauliflower and my green beans chopped up in here. I didn't add any oil or any seasonings yet because I'm going to saute it in oil and add my seasonings as I'm going. I cut up my garlic really small right here. I'm going to saute that separately, and my mushrooms and the leafy part of the cauliflower stems are in here. So you want to be mindful of the time that your food has to cook for. So the cauliflower and green beans are going to take longer. So I'm going to start sauteing that first. Then I'm going to add the mushrooms and the leafy part of the cauliflower because it doesn't take as long. I'm going to do the garlic separate, like I just said, and I'm going to start cutting up my spinach. I think I'm going to leave the spinach raw and add it in there because it will cook as the meatballs are cooking, since spinach takes the least amount of time. So my garlic is sauteing in the 100% avocado oil with cumin on it, turmeric, sea salt, and peppercorn. It's almost done. I'm actually going to turn it off because it's going to cook more in the meatballs. And in here, sauteing in the 100% avocado oil, I have the green beans and cauliflower mixture. I added dill, cilantro, salt, cumin, turmeric, pepper, sea salt, and I gotta cut up some rosemary. So the mushrooms and the leafy part of my cauliflower is in the chopper now, and I'm going to chop that up so I can add it to my sauteing cauliflower and green beans. Okay, so right here, I took some of my rosemary and put it on my cutting board, and I added a drop of the oil on top of it. So I'm going to cut this up. So the oil makes it not fly everywhere. I mean, it does still fly a little bit, but I just chop it like this to make it really small so that way it cooks faster. And I don't really like big pieces of rosemary in my food, so I'm going to add this. I'm going to saute this rosemary. So I just do this until it's really, really small. Again, I added a little bit of the avocado oil on top of the dried rosemary. My mushrooms and the leafy part of my cauliflower is chopped in the chopper, and I'm going to add it to my pan. This is my rosemary, and I'm going to saute it a little bit. I know it's really hard to see, but I took the garlic out, but the garlic oil is still in there, so I'll give it flavor. It looks like it's not doing anything, but it's on low. You don't want to burn it. Just saute a little bit, make it crispy, because biting into a piece of rosemary like this is not what I think is fun or tastes that great. So I'm going to saute it in the oil that the garlic was cooked in, and it's all going to get added in here. And I'm about to add my mushrooms and the leafy part of the cauliflowers in this. And you can really cook it to whatever consistency you want. Since I'm adding in the meat and it's going to continue to cook, I'm not going to cook it too much, but I also don't want it too crunchy where my little cousin is going to know that it's in there. But I don't want to overcook it either. So just keep trying it. I mean, if you're not trying to sneak it into anything, then you can cook it to whatever consistency you want. Again, this is on medium. I don't know if I already said that. Sauteing in 100% avocado oil. Same seasonings, same herbs as I showed. There we go. Now you can see it bubbling a little bit. Alright. I gotta take this off. So I added my mushrooms and the leafy part of my cauliflower right here into my pan. This has already been cooking, the cauliflower and the green beans that are chopped up, for about, I don't know, 7 minutes maybe. And now I'm going to add the mushrooms. And right here you can see that's my sauteed rosemary. So I'm just going to mix it all together and continue to cook it. Look at the colors. Just take a minute. Appreciate all the colors. It is stained with yellow from the turmeric, but still, very beautiful. So the mushrooms and the leafy part of the cauliflower have been cooking for about 3 minutes. I just mixed it all around. My rosemary is in there. I added a little more of the same herbs, the cilantro and the dill, and a little bit more cumin and turmeric. And this is my sauteed garlic. I added a little bit inside of there, not too much because I'm also adding it to the meat. So I have my spinach cut up here, and I'm about to mix up my meat. So there's my garlic right there, and same seasoning, same herbs, and the spinach, the raw spinach. I'm gonna mix this up. So I mixed everything together in my raw meat. So my sauteed cauliflower, green beans, and the leafy part of the cauliflower, and mushrooms, and a little bit of sauteed garlic are all in here. I use about half, maybe not even. I have my chopped up raw spinach. There's raw spinach in here, and this is the rest of my sauteed garlic. So you can see I didn't even use half of it. I don't want it to be overwhelming with garlic. And now I'm going to form meatballs. There's no egg in here. There's no breadcrumbs, so I want to see if I can do it. And if I can't, then I might add an egg. It's doing okay. I have it on medium heat, no egg. I was able to form. This is my tester. I want to try it too because I don't want to make a bunch and then find out it doesn't taste great. So I am rolling it after I cook it on each side for a couple minutes just to get it all the way cooked through. So again, this is going to take time and patience. So I mean, if you want to add some gluten-free, if they even sell that, what is it called? Breadcrumbs and egg. I mean, feel free, but I don't want to do that, and it looks like it's just fine. Alright, I think it's done. It was about probably 4 minutes altogether. Keep moving it around. I am wearing gloves. I'm not, a hugest fan of touching raw meat with very long fingernails. Alright, perfect. And the smell is amazing. The rosemary and the garlic, wow. Okay, so my meatball is done. It did break apart, but I did make sure it was cooked all the way. So maybe about 5-6 minutes. I mean, just obviously check it, make sure it's not raw, but the taste is delicious. It's so good. So here's some more that I'm making, and I'm going to keep forming them. I'm not sure if I want to add egg. I might. I just might. We'll see. Okay, I made a decision, and I'm adding a raw egg. And these are the eggs that I'm using. Organic, pasture-raised eggs. Vital. I think that's how you say it. Vital Farms. Vital Farms. One. Only one. No breadcrumbs still. And I'm not going to add breadcrumbs. If anything, I would crush up some cauliflower crackers if I have them, or something like that. Like, I wouldn't use breadcrumbs. So I formed my meatballs. They're bite size. There's about 30 here and a couple in here. I did add an egg. The bigger ones do not have egg. There's like 4 of them in there, and I didn't use all the meat. I'm going to save that and not cook that so I can eat that later. So I'm going to start frying my meatballs. Bite-sized meatballs packed with veggies and garlic. So my meatballs are in here. They're cooking on low to medium in 100% avocado oil. I am using my fingers. I don't have a glove on. Probably could use a fork, but without breadcrumbs, they're not exactly like firm, but they look good. My meatballs have been cooking for like 5-6 minutes. I just keep moving. I keep rotating them. I haven't walked away. Just keep flipping them. Now that they're a little bit firmer, I am using a wooden spoon, but very gently. They're actually not that bad. They're stiffening up pretty good. They're almost done. I did add a little bit more cumin on there, a little bit of sea salt, and a little bit of pepper, and like really just a little bit, especially for me, because these are not for me. They're almost done. 5-6 minutes, keep turning. And because the spinach was raw, it did, spinach makes your pan get watery, so I kept taking a paper towel and just like soaking up the water like that, and just keep moving it around, so that way my meatballs aren't soggy. Alright, so my stuffed veggie meatballs are done. They're not veggie, but I mean they're stuffed with vegetables. See, I cut into it, perfectly cooked. About 6-7 minutes, just keep moving it, and that was on really low because I didn't want to overcook them. And like I said, when the water starts forming in the pan, I just took a paper towel and kept draining it because that's from the raw spinach. So there's about 35 bite-sized mini organic grass-fed meatballs stuffed with cauliflower, spinach, mushrooms, and garlic, with rosemary, cilantro, dill, cumin, turmeric, sea salt, and pepper. Perfect. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. So they're almost completely cooled now. She plans on freezing them and taking them out as she wants to give them to him, my little cousin, and they're bite-sized. That's why they're so small, because he's only 5. So if I were going to eat these, though, I would put them on top of spaghetti squash. Or I would just eat them like this on the side with, like, I don't know, probably some more spinach or quinoa, actually. I would put them in or on top of quinoa or spaghetti squash with a garlic sauce, or like a ranch dip garlic sauce that I make that you see in other videos. That's exactly how I would eat this. Alright, if you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.